Here we go, my first NBA game. This is something I've been waiting for my entire life. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But I know this is where I belong. So I just gotta get out there and do what I was born to do. I hope I can make my family proud.
.56 seconds left in the first quarter. On the court for Cleveland. Pulling out the wing to jumper LeBron. Thompson and Verja at the 4 and 5. And it's Williams at the point.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Shumpert, looking for his first basket still in this one.
And last year's midseason trade had to feel good to Iman Shumpert. Toiling away in New York, injured, uninspired. Boy, did he find new life in Cleveland. Of course, playing next to LeBron can do that for you.
Last year, Clark, he added the defense and athleticism on the wing that Cleveland so desperately needed.
Yeah, he sure did, Kevin. And he also became a facilitator of all things. I mean, you wouldn't expect that from him, but he averaged over 3 assists a game, easily the best mark of his career.
Good point. No good from Wade.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Bulls trail by 3. Shot from the inbound, and Thompson sends it back. Here's Williams on the wing, James. That misses. Would have come. A good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Cavaliers ahead, leading by 3. We'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game. You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective for most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court?
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. What stands out to you from the Cavaliers in this one?
They've been a well-oiled machine offensively thus far.
They've kept the ball moving, Greg, and their opponents chasing after it. That's how they've piled up all the points.
So on the floor, Paul, and what a feeling it's got to be as we get to see the very first NBA bucket from Wade.
Yeah, and you know, he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, he'll never forget that first one.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Well, with Freak, Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready. He's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school. He could be on the NBA clock.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hand. In for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Dunleavy. And Freak subbed in for Derrick Rose. And then for Cleveland, Thompson comes in for Mozgov. And Mo Williams subbed in for Smith. Wade, he's in at the point. Taj Gibson is out there with Pau Gasol. Then there's Mirotic, and it's Butler in at the shooting guard. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Wade against Irving. Wade kicks to Gibson. He dishes it to Mirotic. Irving against Wade. 6 on the shot clock. Puts it up from 15. And again, no good by Chicago. Cleveland's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. And Gibson sends it back. But they recover it. No problems knocking that one down. 20 points for Kyrie Irving.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
And Mirotic kicks to Gibson. Takes the turnaround J, and that one's good. Gibson's got 6.
How much do you love to see the turnaround?
James dishes to Williams. Love outside. From outside, off the mark. For Chicago, they've gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Wade drives in and stolen by Kyrie Irving. And now Irving pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And he gets it to go. Irving's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups form in that series, but they were able to prevail.
The drive by LeBron. Love. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly. Eventually pulled it together and came in.
And so it's Cleveland with it. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Cleveland. Mo Williams out there with J.R. Smith. Then it's Mozgov. Then there's Anderson Varejao. And it's Shumpert in at the 3, the small forward.
They have got to box out better than that. That putback's just another example of what a difference there's been between these two teams.
Three-pointer, Wade. Wade missing again.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
Outside jumper. Just 5 on the clock. Varejao with a screen on Brooks. Shot off the pick. Shumpert, no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Williams against Gibson. Pick by Varejao. Smith kicks to Williams. Offensive rebound. He shoots again and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Taj Gibson picks one up.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
And guys, last season was a painful one for Anderson Varejao. He had finally shaken the back injury that sidelined him the year before, signs the multi-year contract extension with the Cavs. Things were starting to look up. Then only 3 weeks later, he tears the Achilles and was ruled out for the season. You talk about a tough break.
Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Outside jumper. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And adding insult to injury, certainly, Greg, as you were talking about, Varejao played well at the start of last season. Shooting 56% from the field. Clark, I think he was over 70% from the line. Those were career highs.
Yeah, and a terrible blow for Varejao and the Cavs because of that injury, the Achilles tendon. But it led to the deal for Mozgov, and that's worked out quite nicely.
Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Matthew Dellavedova comes in for Williams. Here's Portis. There's a screen. And Moore kicks to Snell. Buries the long range.
Very well executed. executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Outside jumper. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. That's 10 points for Amon Shepard. Well, Chicago has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Moore outside to the wing right side. Gasol passes to Snell. Kick out to Moore. Shumpert with the steal. Now Cleveland moving it up. Here's Dellavedova. Knocked away. For Chicago, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Now Cleveland moving it up. Finished off the break. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Cavaliers.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
And the first one at the line is good.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And trying to cut into this lead, they need every edge they can get.
And Cleveland making a change here. Jefferson's checked in. Here's Dellavedova. Wade is covering. Out to Shumpert. From outside the arc. It's rebounded by Portis. Into the Bulls, shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Snell dishes to Wade. So the wing on the left. Jefferson against Moore. That's good. Here's Shumpert.
Oh, look, league business clearly doing well. Franchises, values are skyrocketing, and a new TV deal kicking in next season as well. It represents the largest expansion of league revenues in history.
Pass to Portis. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Bulls making a switch here. Brooks checked in. Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring. And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Cavaliers.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin. I think the shot selection was good, too.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And, Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Kyrie Irving. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Here's Dellavedova. Wade is covering. Whistle blows. That's going to be a travel. Joakim Noah is checked in for Pau Gasol. And then for Cleveland, Love comes in for Tristan Thompson. And it's Williams in for Matthew Dellavedova. Here's Brooks. Takes it from 10. Kept alive. Nice D from Verajao.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. That's good.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Boy, I love the serious killer instinct they've shown, finishing strong.
And here's Wade. Noah the screen. somehow ignores the tight D and gets the way up. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving. Kenny, your thoughts?
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it and delivering in some big, big plays and baskets. His point total shows everything that I'm talking about. The defense was like, what am I going to do? And he was like, nothing, because I'm toying.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting...
Coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest. I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in an NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Nets will look to their home court advantage, just one game here in Brooklyn. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. They can only manage a single win in 4 tries. Here for Brooklyn, Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Joe Johnson. And Bogdanovich is subbed in for Wayne Ellington. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol. Aaron Brooks is checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Freak subbed in for Rose. So the Bulls 5 right now. Wade in at point guard. Mirotic is out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Brooks, and it's Gibson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and trigger the fast break.
And now just a one-possession game thanks to that quick hitter. Outstanding play in the open court.
You know, the Nets really kind of drifted along for the first part of last season, treaded water, but after the All-Star break, they stepped on the gas, put themselves right back in the playoff picture.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Wade drives in, rebounded by the Nets. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Brooks dishes to Wade. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Andre Bargnani picks one up. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often. A winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Tony Snell's checked in for Chicago. There's a good screen. Here's Bogdanovich. No good from outside. Well, Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. In the corner, Snell with it. Kicks it to Mirotic. Passes it to Brooks. The dish to Wade. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team in the way they approach the game.
Here's Jack. Mirotic grabs the miss.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Wade. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. This is his second trip to the line in this one. First one falls for him. So he gets them both. Outside Jack. He feeds it to Bargnani. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence. We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
And a high scoring. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team. No, I think Joakim can certainly make a case. Checked in for Lopez. And it's Bogdanovich in for Jarrett Jack.
Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA, already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
So the Bulls 5 right now. Wade, he's in at the point. Taj Gibson is out there with Mirotic. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Brooks in at the 2 spot.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things their way. No doubt they've been winning on the backcourt.
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Johnson, wide open, he fires, and he misses the go-ahead basket. Brooks outside, down low, and it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Brooks. And the Bulls lead by 3.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense could do.
Here's Young. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Mirotic has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Brooks kicks to Wade. Gibson against Bargnani. Wade, he makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Pass to Johnson. This one for 3, and that one's good. Johnson's got 5 points now this quarter.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
And that one's good.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
And again, Aaron Brooks. Now it's a 6-point Bulls lead.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Here's Ellington. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Ellington's got 9 points.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Butler attacking, 14 feet away. Great D that time from Johnson.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
With 1 on the clock. Oh, a monumental buzzer beater!
What a thrill.
It's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground game. And the new group in for the Nets. Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Young. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Johnson. And Bogdanovich is subbed in for Wayne Ellington. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Robinson. Then it's Jarrett Jack. Then it's Bargnani. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 2 guard. So that's the Nets 5. Down low, Bargnani passes to Hollis Jefferson. And Jack, here we go. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
And they seem to have gotten something out of almost every possession. Their defense has been just as good, just a tremendous performance all the way around.
Yeah, and they're doing it in hostile territory, too. I mean, don't forget about that part of it, which makes it even more important.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim. I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Bargnani a screen on Wade. And Jack, here we go. 29 seconds left in the third. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Jack's got 8 points here in this quarter. The Bulls leading by 17. Wade with it. Robinson picks him up. And there's the feed to Wade. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Jack's up a three. Another miss by Wade. Hollis Jefferson. And no good trying to get...
Ladies and gentlemen, go Brooklyn Nets!
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has... Bargnani has checked in for Young. Thomas Robinson comes in for Wayne Ellington. Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Jarrett Jack. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Portis, he's checked in for Gasol. Tony Snell comes in for Mike Dunleavy. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Butler. And Preek subbed in for Rose. Taking a look at the Bulls. Wade, he's in at point guard. Portis is out there with Noah. Then there's Heinrich. And it's Snell in at the three. And it's Wade penetrating.
And last season, the Nets made sure nobody went off against them. They would lose games, but they did a great job of limiting an opposing star from taking over.
And he knocks down the first one.
What a game we've seen here for Wade. 13 points, and he's knocked down 5 shots at the charity stripe. Good numbers for him.
Yeah, they are. It's been a nice element of his game today.
Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Larkin comes in for Brook Lopez. And Chicago also making a switch. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Well, as you mentioned with the Nets, they limited takeover games, set an NBA record, in fact, Mark, by allowing the fewest 30-point scores against them.
Yeah, you know, only Harden and Lillard were able to get 30 points against the Nets. As you said, the first team to allow so few in a complete NBA season. Going back to 99, the strike-shortened season, the Knicks did it as well.
Here's Larkin. Wade is covering. Ripped away. 1:33 left in the game. Heinrich dishes to Wade.
And, you know, the NBA loves to experiment with different rules in different ways. The D-League last season used international rules for goaltending. And that small change makes a huge impact on the defensive end.
Money.
He's off on the second. Brooklyn's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Bulls.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, seemed toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Gasol. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Chicago making a switch here. Brooks checked in. And for the international rules of goaltending, players are allowed to touch the ball after it hits the iron, even if it is over the cylinder.
I'm not sure if the NBA is going to adapt that rule, but I think it wouldn't be a big deal to adapt it because there aren't a lot of times that play happens in the game. I think it would be a small percentage of those plays over the course of a season.
And Wade drops them both. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed, Clark.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, that actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
And it's Wade again missing. Here's Larkin. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they...
Play, boy. Way to play. Hey.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, Pau Gasol. He didn't seem to need much time to warm up tonight. He made his first 4 shots in a row.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the show.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap.
big homestand coming up. There's nothing better than playing in front of your home crowd, but there's also a certain level of pressure that comes with it. I don't get it done tonight and not raise the sense of urgency even higher next time. So I'm just focused on this game and getting a W for the best fans in the world.
The Chicago Bulls, the United Center. Welcome, everybody. Glad you decided to spend your Thursday night with us here at 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg. Almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Heritage comes in for Pau Gasol. Aaron Brooks is checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Freak subbed in for Derrick Rose. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Smith comes in for Blake Griffin. And Stevenson's checked in for Pierce. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. And Stevenson is out there with Smith. And it's Aldrich in at the 5 down low.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
Paul kicks to Stevenson. To the inside, puts up the baby hook, and that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. Tony Snell's checked in for Butler. Los Angeles shooting their first free throw of the evening. Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game. You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
And even 3-on-3 break. Wade with the block.
You know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play. You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season. Led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game.
Guys, Josh Smith, an interesting case. Clark, he shot about 2 triples a game last year, yet for the last 3 seasons, his free throw percentage has been under, surprisingly, 55%.
Yeah, and that's terribly troubling. I mean, his three-point percentage improved in Houston, but the free throws, really, he can do much better than that. You look at his stroke, I think it's just a matter of concentration with Josh.
To the paint, here's Aldrich. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Here is Brooks. He has 5. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Wade. Offline with the baseline jumper. Clippers leading by 7. Paul outside. All sorts of time. Jump shot is good that time. Chicago with the ball. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone.
And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark ends up going with the new group. A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich is checked in for Jordan. Smith comes in for Pierce. Lance Stevenson's checked in for Jamal Crawford. and J.J. Redick is subbed in for Chris Paul. So for the Clippers right now, Smith is out there with Griffin. Then it's Lance Stevenson. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's Aldridge in at the 5, roaming the paint. Redick against Wade, stolen by Stevenson. And now the fast break. Stevenson with the ball. Good.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end. Steals, fast break to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc. And boy, are they taking advantage.
Shots good by Gibson.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Stevenson with it. He's picked up by Brooks. Inside, here's Griffin. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays. He is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
And he's good on the second. For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
And Redick kicks to Griffin. Dishes to Aldridge. And he jams it in. Bulls trail by 12. On the wing, Brooks, stolen by Stevenson. And now Redick pushing it up. No one back to stop him, and he gets it to go. Redick's got 4 this quarter. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Clippers.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off. You can forget that these players are student athletes. I mean, Freak does not have that problem. He's an amazing student off the floor and is very dedicated in the classroom.
And how about Freak with a 4.0 GPA, an honor student in high school, and has carried that same work ethic to college as well as he prepares for his games. He truly embodies what it means to be a student athlete.
And so in the game for the Jayhawks, Wade, he's in at the point. Also Duncan out there, and it's Gaines in at the 5, roaming the paint. Just 3 to shoot. Fresh can't get it to go.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face. That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Here's Free. Wade brings the double team. Free passes to Fresh. Campbell with it. Here's Free. And another miss by UCLA.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And it's the Bruins with the ball. And here we go. Fresh, the pass to Free. Here's Campbell. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Now in new group getting ready to come in for the Bruins. Roberts is checked in for Thomas. Campbell comes in for Morris. Fresh is checked in for Barton. And Free subbed in for Starks.
And Kansas always seems to be in title contention. I mean, the program does a great job of finding tough players and having a system that fits them best. Rarely are they not a title contender.
And so in the game for the Jayhawks, Wade, he's in at point guard. Also Duncan out there. And it's Terry in at the four-man position. They shoot again. A nice shot by Roberts.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
And the Jayhawks do a great job in recruiting talent. All sorts of players have come through Kansas and found success.
Yeah, and you know they develop not only the stars like Paul Pierce and Andrew Wiggins, but role players too, guys that have made a living in the NBA as fitting into roles. Mario Chalmers and Nick Collison come to mind. And, you know, we've seen a lot of great point guards over the years, and Freak is right at the top for me. The things he can do with the ball are special. And he knows how to control the flow of the game, too. He's not only highly skilled, but he's a maestro in orchestration.
And it's really interesting. Controlling tempo and pace is oftentimes something that most point guards don't really learn until they are pros. But Freak understands how important that is already. It's a big part of why so many think he'll be successful as a point guard on the next level.
Hard to watch UCLA and not think of the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden, not just his school, but his place in the history of basketball. He helped put college basketball on the map in a big way.
Bossie's checked in for the Jayhawks. Jenkins comes in for Duncan. Here's Campbell. Free passes to Campbell. 30 seconds left to play here in the half. Oubre pulls it in. Kansas trails by 6.
Yeah, the shot clock. This could be the last possession of the quarter.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. That's exactly what they should have in mind here.
Wade against Irving from past the arc. Wade can't hit. Stolen by Wade. And the first half is... Hello and welcome back. This is college basketball on 2K Sports. And if you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg as we get set for the second half.
And guys, without a doubt, it's been a rough go so far here for Freak and his team. They just can't find anything to capitalize on consistently thus far.
And Greg, I'm anticipating plenty of adjustments from the coach. But I tell you what, when it comes down to what happens in the second half, it's about the players executing. A few quick baskets right out of the gate, and it's anybody's game.
So on the floor for UCLA, we've got Free, Looney out there with Campbell. Then it's Fresh, and it's Roberts in at the center.
And with Freak, he takes a lot of pride in where he hails from. Didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his hand by any means, and his family cheers him on from Harlem.
And Greg, you can see it in this game. I mean, we're all a product of where we've been, our environment, our experiences. And with Freak, he doesn't take anything for granted. Some of the very best players of all time have come from the projects like Freak, and he takes pride in playing for Harlem when he's on the court.
Count it, and the Bruin lead has been cut down to just 1 on the basket from Wade.
Boy, some really big names have come out of the Kansas Jayhawks program into the NBA. A pair of first overall picks in their history. Believe it or not, Wilt Chamberlain wasn't one of them.
And some changes here for the Bruins. Johnson. Kansas trails by 3. They've definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Yeah, Greg, you like groove, don't you?
I do. Let's groove tonight, Kevin. And matter of fact, let's just stay in the attack mode that we're seeing from these guys. They're getting whatever they want.
Porter with it. Wade picks him up. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Well, on the topic of Wilt Chamberlain's draft was under that territorial right, which was why he wasn't first overall. But if you add him to the list, that would make 3 total Jayhawks taken number 1, Greg.
Yeah, along with Danny Manning and also Andrew Wiggins being the overall number 1 selection. I mean, the Jayhawks have had a ton of talent, though, in the lottery over the course of their history. This school has produced just tremendous talent year in and year out.
Like Paul Pierce. And so in the game for the Jayhawks, Wade in at point guard. Also Duncan out there. And it's Oubre in at the small forward position. Free against Wade, and the foul called on Freak. Johnson, he's checked in for UCLA. Starks comes in for Free. And the Jayhawks also making a change. Wade, he's checked in for Lee. Here's the teardrop. Good D by Wade.
And fancy finishes like that look great, but man, it's embarrassing when you blow them.
Oubre kicks to Wade to tie it up. He lays it in. Wade's got it all tied up now for the Jayhawks.
And you see a lot of players who are very talented play with a me-first approach. That is not the case with Freak. He doesn't try and attract any unnecessary attention and just focuses on playing his game.
Yeah, I like that about him, Greg. I mean, in a day and age where most guys are self-centered and it's all about me, it's refreshing for a player like Freak who doesn't invite that kind of noise. I mean, that's as impressive as his skill set.
That's tipped out of bounds. Kansas will take possession.
Oh, that certainly could be costly. In a close one, those kinds of mistakes can really give the other team momentum.
To the middle. Ball stolen. Shot to end this cold run. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give him a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming to the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Now here's what UCLA is going with on the floor. Roberts is checked in for Johnson, and Free subbed in for Starks. And the foul called on Freak. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. But plenty of drama in this one so far.
And I would not be surprised if it goes right down to the buzzer.
To the middle. Out to Morris. Some nice ball movement by the Bruins. Here's Free. Passes it to Roberts. Good D by Wade.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release. One thing with Freak that we know is he makes sure he gets his shots up no matter what. One way or another, he's going to get his workout in, and that's why so many are confident that he'll continue to improve.
Part of it is that he has a twin sister who actually taught him how to play ball. She helped him develop his game and become the player he is today. So pretty nice to have a sibling willing to help you develop your skill set on the court. You had a foul to give there, but you'd rather not have it cost your team points.
I agree. I mean, you would have been better off using it on the floor and not on the shot. But the foul had to come either way, so it is what it is.
Yeah, one more make would have been nice, but they do walk away with the lead.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Duncan.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And that's out of bounds. UCLA will retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Poked away. Here's Wade. No good.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, how about the nerves there? Those free throws put them in a very good position. 3 points clear.
Lets it go from the wing. The shot is off. So it's UCLA picking up the win.